Hello and welcome to Working Crass Podcast. That's Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about the horse shit going on in the world and in our lives, because that's what we do on this podcast, is talk about some crazy horse shit.
That's right.
And this week we got some horse shit racked up for you. The first comes from Huffington Post, and that is this 8-second TikTok of a controversial part of my body racked up over 18 million views. So this is an article by Allie Bloom about Allie Bloom. This is what I like about this, is this girl posted a video on TikTok. She says, reaction videos began to pop up featuring people who were incredibly unhappy with my appearance, to put it mildly. So people don't like the way she looks, I guess. And so she posted this proud TikTok, which she didn't even include in her own article. And then because people reacted to it, she said, I need to write. It's not enough, Lauren. It's not enough to post a picture of yourself on social media. And it's not enough to post a video of yourself on social media. It might get you attention. It might get people to make reaction videos about you like we're doing now. But that's not enough. You need to write an article about how you posted a picture on social media. Did you know that?
No, but I think we're going to learn a lot.
This is the new age of social media. This is what the future looks like. You're not just going to post on Facebook. You're going to write an article about your post on Facebook. You're not going to post a picture on Instagram. You're going to write an article about the picture you posted on Instagram and how everyone reacted.
You're going to start your own news-based website.
It's not enough to go on a vacation. You have to write an article about the vacation you took in order for it to be a legitimate location. Remember when Instagram first came out and people were taking pictures of their food, and the whole thing was like, oh, did you really get the nice food if you didn't take a picture of it? Did you really go on the vacation if you didn't take a picture of it? Now, did you really post on social media if you didn't write an article about it?
If you didn't start your own media conglomerate and do a breaking news story on what you did it really happen?
Breaking news. This morning I posted a post on Facebook. That's her news channel. It's the Allie Bloom News.
Breaking news, my post is still getting reactions.
So let's figure out what this is all about and why people reacted to her negatively.
Yeah.
She says, the first time I got, well, let me use her voice. I'm just joking. The first time I got my eyebrows waxed was for my 5th grade graduation. My mom said she was my age when she first got her eyebrows done, so it felt like a familiar rite of passage. Now, I guess, is this a thing? Have you ever gotten your eyebrows waxed?
No, I've never got any part of me waxed.
So it's not really a familial part of rite of passage. It's
for her family. It sounds like they come from
the thick brows.
A thick brow family.
That's right.
And so this is maybe something. I mean, it sounds like it's something her mom did, and so they went and did it together. It's like bonding.
And that is her name, Allie Thickbrow?
Yes.
Allie Thickbrow in the Thickbrow family.
Yeah. Of the upstate thick brows.
As I lay on the waxing table, anxiously anticipating how it would feel to remove the center of my thick, dark unibrow, I thought to myself, beauty is pain, a phrase I heard constantly growing up. Now, is that society's fault or her parents' fault?
I mean, it's probably a mix of both.
Is beauty actually pain?
Well, it can be.
It depends. Like, I'm okay being, I guess, uncomfortable to wear something that makes me look nice. Like, when you dress up nice, sometimes you look a little uncomfortable. Or not, you don't look uncomfortable, you are uncomfortable. Sometimes, you put on a nice set of clothes and they're flattering to you, flattering for you, but they're not exactly the most comfortable. You'd be more comfortable wearing pajamas, obviously.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I guess, like, effort is hard.
Yes. Sometimes it is hard to do things that you don't really want to do.
Yes. But Lauren, there's this whole movement nowadays where anything you don't want to do, it's actually oppressive to expect for you to do, right? Things like Things like shaving your armpits as a woman. That's oppressive for us to expect a woman not to have hairy armpits.
It's very oppressive.
And, to expect her to put in the minimum amount of work to look like not Bigfoot.
To expect me to take the 2 minutes to shave my pits, that's the patriarchy.
That is the patriarchy.
That's the patriarchy at work, holding us women down by our goddamn pits.
That's right.
And I won't stand for it.
And it doesn't have anything to do with like body hair or shame or anything like that. It's the fact that you have to put in effort to do it that makes it oppressive. That's what it is. The fact that you have to put in minimal effort makes it oppressive. Anything that you have to do anything for is oppressive, okay? Mm-hmm. You should be allowed to sit around and do absolutely nothing and decompose and get as ugly and stinky and hairy and smelly as you want.
Well, you should be allowed to. You just can't force other people to enjoy being in your company.
No, yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's oppressive to not enjoy my company as a smelly beast. It's oppressive not to invite me into your home as a smelly, sweaty beast. I am naturally a sweaty beast. God, who doesn't exist, made me a smelly, sweaty beast. She said, as a kid, I was chubby and curly-haired, and I always wanted to be the center of attention.
Well, that right there is the problem. The last part. Not the chubby and curly-haired part, but the very last part of that sentence.
Well, we already knew this because she writes articles about the pictures that she posts on social media.
Right.
This is someone who detrimentally wants to be the center of attention.
But that's 100% the entire issue. Mm-hmm. At the core of all of this
you want to be the center of attention.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And right now, in this weird day and age that we're living in, what gets attention is doing stuff that, takes
a minimal amount of effort.
Yeah. And saying, I'm no longer going to do that anymore.
When I started getting compliments on my appearance, it reinforced an idea that our culture puts in girls' minds. You must be hairless to be attractive. Well, first of all, I've never seen a hairless woman that I was like, very nice, because you have to have hair on your head. That's one of the things for me.
Well, I've always thought when I look at cancer patients, I'm like, that's right there. Those women, that is how we should all be.
Now, here's the thing. She says, when I started getting compliments on my appearance, so people started saying, you look great. It reinforced an idea that our culture puts in girls' minds, that you look good when you put in effort. And I don't like that idea. It reinforces this idea that people notice when you put in an effort. And I don't like it.
Well, it seems like
you must be hairless to be attractive. See, here's the other thing. Just because somebody complimented you because you look nice, because you put in effort, doesn't mean that the opposite of that is the only chance that you have of being attractive. That's what she's saying here, right? Is that because people complimented her on waxing, the rule is you must be hairless to be attractive. Because I took the hair off, people found me attractive, so you must be hairless to be attractive.
Yes, it's very Pavlovian.
Yes, exactly.
It's every time you wax, Dr. Pavlov, he dings a bell.
Yeah.
And then you have to wax again.
Treat?
Wax?
I wax? I get my treat? I realized I had spent my whole life as a target and eventually a product of the marketing campaigns and beauty standards that corporations have imposed upon women. Let's face it, the so-called beauty industry profits off our insecurities by setting impossible standards. Models and entertainers are placed on pedestals as unachievable examples of what we are told we should strive to be. But didn't she say that, I guess, like, unachievable and unattainable, didn't she just say she got compliments on her appearance when she put in a minimum amount of effort?
Yeah, so it was attainable. It was feasible to do that. I mean,
it's just I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it took a little bit of effort to do it. But it's also like you didn't have to do any of that. You could have just said, "Nah, I think I'm good."
Yeah, absolutely.
You chose to continue doing that.
That's correct. That's correct. Now, do you have your ears pierced?
Nope.
And when you see images of models with their ears pierced, do you feel like that's culture telling you that you have to have your ears pierced in order to be beautiful?
No.
Or do you just look at that and go, oh, those ladies have their ears pierced?
I look at that and go, I wouldn't do that.
Wow. So really, would you say that it's all perspective?
I think you have to have a good sense of self. And if you don't have a good sense of self, then you're going to try and latch on to all of the things that you're seeing around you, whether it's influence from your family, your friends, from outside mediated sources, because you don't know who you are. And that's part of being a young person, is figuring that out and going on that journey to figure that out. But I think a lot of girls really get wrapped up in that, struggle to figure that out. And it's like a lack of confidence, low self-esteem, because you just don't know who you are. Yeah.
Well, and then when you don't know who you are and you have like social media and you see a bunch of,
it's simultaneous. You don't have a good sense of self, but you also really care about how others perceive yourself.
Oh, this is the crux of the issue, right?
It's the two things happening at once.
Mm-hmm. You care so much what other people think of you that it becomes the center of your attention of what other people think of you. And that's why you can put this blame on, like, here's where I think what you're getting at is you should focus on what you think of yourself, right? If you don't like yourself, if there's something you don't like about yourself, then you should work on that.
Right. If you don't like your thick brows, go and do the wax. If you like your thick brows, don't do the wax. Do what you like to do. But at the same time, you can't expect that everybody else around you is going to perceive what you're doing in the same way that you do.
Exactly, that's correct.
And if you have a good sense of self, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly, it doesn't matter what other people perceive you as, because it's all up to yourself. Now, if you're going to allow them to make you feel bad, well, that's on you. Like, then you need to work on your ability to not care what other people think of you. But I think more of this is, okay, I'm starting to grow a unibrow. The hair's growing back after my last waxing. It takes time and effort for me to fix that. And I feel self-conscious about that. Let me put all of the blame on society. All of the blame on everybody who's looking at me. All of the blame on everyone else. I'll actually just let myself get to a state where I'm more self-conscious. Mm-hmm. And then I will accept it for myself. Say that okay, this is what my standard of beauty is. Fuck everyone else's standard of beauty. This will be mine, which is also fine. Then you post it online and you tell everyone this needs to be yours too. Yep. You're the one with something wrong.
My perception of beauty standards needs to be your perception of beauty standards.
And what that really means is my insecurities need to be your insecurities.
Now, to be fair to our thick-browed friend here.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think the people who go on her TikTok of her showing off her nice thick brows, I think, and saying stuff like gross or whatever, I think they're equally stupid. Because
is that not what we're doing right here?
No.
Wait a minute. So this is her when she like waxes, okay? This is like one of the last times that she tweezed and waxed her eyebrows here. Which I'm going to say, she's got a lot of other problems she needs to worry about than the eyebrows. But what I'm saying, I'm just joking. But I and then you get down here to this.
Yeah.
And we're not you're saying we're not going to make fun of her looks here?
No, I'm saying that the people who go out of their way to like comment on the TikTok like, ew, gross, disgusting, I find
No, she said people are making reaction videos to her TikTok, not commenting.
Whatever. But I find it a little bit equally stupid because, again, that person's, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So one man's yuck is another man's yum, right?
But are we not making a reaction video right now to her images and pictures that she's posted. And
I say if she wants to
look at
live
this.
live a hairy life, go out and live your hairy life. Be your best hairy self and live it. You can't force other people to also love living the hairy lifestyle. It's not for them.
What I'm saying is I got no problem with people reacting, making reaction videos.
I have no problem with people making the reactions. However, I don't think it's all that productive.
Oh, yeah, completely. It's not that productive, but it is funny as shit. Because
I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
It's funny. Oh, absolutely. Well,
I'm just saying the people who are like the troll people who like
Yes,
go out of their
yes.
way to be mean to like, you need a change, shave it now.
Yes.
Like that's stupid.
Yeah, but yeah. If they're telling her what she needs to do, yes, sure. But we're bullies too.
I mean, we haven't denied that we're bullies.
We're bullies.
We fully embrace the bully lifestyle. And the bully lifestyle is not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. Well, look, growing up, I was not a bully. I was bullied. I was one of the nerds and freaks and fat, hairy kids that would be bullied. Just like everyone else who says you can't bully anymore and everybody. I got bullied too. They all got bullied as well. But the problem is other people our age, the social justice warrior types, grew up and said, because I got bullied, now I get to be the bully. I get to be the bully against all of the other bullies that ever bullied me. And I say, no, I still like bullying the nerds. Because I was a former nerd. I'd rather bully my own than bully someone else. Does that make sense? You bully within your own group.
Yeah.
I would say that for many, many years, I belonged to the group of SJW, people and the creative types, the liberal-minded people. And I still do. I would say I probably connect more to them than I would going out to a farm in Texas and hanging out with family member, a cousin's cousin with a friend of a cousin, and he's like, hey, what'd you think of the Packers last night, or whatever game. I don't give a shit on any of that.
Whatever game with balls.
I'm definitely more of I'm drawn more to artsy types, more liberal types, which is why I like making fun of them more. Because they're losers and nerds.
I just say,
we can all be losers and nerds together.
Sure. I feel like I get along with all types of people, really.
Yeah? I think you're making things up here today. You are really.
Fine.
I get along with plenty of people, and also I don't think it's good to bully people on the internet. It's not very productive to make fun of hairy ladies. As we make fun of the hairy lady. It's just not very productive to make fun of the hairy lady. Don't try to get on this lady's good side. Don't even start. You think she's going to write an article about you? I made a new best friend today. Her name is Lauren. She says people need to stop making mean videos about me. And then she made a mean video about me. We don't have to be mean here. I'm just saying that you can't. Well, you can. You can post anything you want. I say you can share anything you want, promote anything you want. You have the freedom to do that. I think everyone should have the freedom to do that without getting your stuff taken down. Yeah. And everybody also has the freedom to comment on that, whatever they want.
To critique it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is something about let's be traditionally as unattractive and unkept as possible sometimes. There's certain people that are their whole thing is anything that makes me put in any effort on myself is oppressive. And so what it turns out to be is why do we need to like your hairy armpits? Why do we need to like your unibrow? Why do we need to like how hairy you are? Why can't you just like how hairy you are as a person?
Right, exactly.
So some of it is nope, we need to smash the standards, and your standards need to be my standards. It's the same thing, and I think I said this last week on the podcast too. It's religion. It's my idea of religion too. It's growing up, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what you believe. You're allowed to believe whatever you want. It's until you tell me I have to believe that and I have to live by the tenets of your religion. It's the same thing. It's like you can do and feel however you want. But once you tell everyone that they have to live by the tenets of your religion, that's when you're in the wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
And
I think it's also, right now, anything that's kind of considered conventional or, what used to be kind of like standard is now not trendy.
Yeah.
What's trendy is to be, I'm unconventional. I'm on the fringe.
Yep.
I'm doing the thing that nobody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Except everybody else is doing it, so it's
everybody else is
not
doing
really
it.
that nobody else is doing it. But it's some of that mixed in too.
When these comments began to roll in, I just stared at my phone in disbelief. Most shocking to me was the response from men in particular and how violent and derogatory their choices of words were. Violent, like caveman and Chewbacca.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess here and say I don't think they were actually in disbelief that that's what people commented. I think they went in knowing full well this is how people are gonna comment.
Absolutely, you don't post this so that way people will go. Well, you know that there's going to be a group of people that are going to go. This is so brave. This is so beautiful. But the reason you post it is you're looking for people to go ooh, so you can go see what I've been fighting against.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want that. Like, you want the people pushing back. That's absolutely correct. Instead of getting flustered and wondering if I should stop posting videos, I saw this moment as an opportunity. I wouldn't go viral and then vanish. I would remain relevant and use my voice. When I posted this image on social media and it got a lot of hate, I had to think to myself, maybe I should start posting on social media more. Should I back down or should I double down? Speaking of double down, I'm hungry. We grew up being told to stand out, to be unique and be our authentic selves. Who's we? I was not told to stand out. I was told fit in. Don't stand out. You're Jewish. I'm sure that you were told, like, don't stand out. Whatever you do, don't fucking stand out. Blend in. Don't draw any attention to yourself. Drawing attention to yourself is dangerous. Why do you think we don't put our last names on this podcast? We don't want to go viral and get attention.
Exactly. Why do you think that I was trying to play both sides of the field here? Why do you think that I was trying to get on their good side, Joshua?
You don't want to stand out.
Exactly.
We don't want to be noticed.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
We don't want to be noticed. That's why we're making fun of TikTokers.
I don't want to tangle any hairs.
We don't want to go viral. That's why we're making fun of people who do go viral. Everyone who's done it successfully, we're making fun of. And then here's another nice little picture here. So I've never been one to conform or allow myself to be put down by others. I will continue to spread my message of self-love and body acceptance, even if that means dealing with a few trolls and bullies, or thousands of them, from time to time. I'm now confident in who I am, and rather than seeking approval from others, I know that I'm beautiful and divinely feminine, hair and all. And that's why I decided to write a whole article about it.
Because I feel really secure about the decision that I've made to grow out all this hair. I know that it's a really good one, and my article will prove that it's a really good one. I did not make a mistake. I am not second-guessing myself at all, and it will be proven by the comments I get on this article that validate my beliefs.
I am not going to let the critics win. And that's why I'm going to write all about what the critics said.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Is this person single?
It hasn't said anything.
Because what I find fascinating is I tend to see like this push to go against beauty standards, as like grooming standards, as something that women tend to do way more often than men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, men want women to like them.
But it's like the unibrow, though, is really interesting here because it's not just specifically like women with unibrows were critiqued. Also, men with unibrows get critiqued too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
I don't know, like how that's a symptom of the patriarchy if it also affects men.
It happens on the internet. It's not like this is happening in real life where people are going up and going, ooh, that unibrow, gross. And if it is, that person's an asshole and they're not worth your time or attention. And I'm all for ignoring that person. But once you post it online...
Or they might be autistic and they can't help themselves.
That's absolutely true. They might be autistic and they just point out what they see.
Exactly.
And that's the patriarchy still. But no, I think, once you put it online, that's what opens the door for open criticism, because the internet is anonymous. And so like you have to be willing to take hate on the internet. You have to be willing to do it. And we shouldn't be censoring anybody that throws hate your way, because you might be wrong. And we need the ability to point out when you're wrong. Although you might be right. And stupid people should be allowed to comment on that as well. It's anonymous. So it's a little fun to be mean on the internet. Is it not? Is that not what we're doing here? By not putting our last names on our podcast, we're slightly anonymous unless somebody finds us and gets us fired from our job. But it allows us to speak honestly, maybe a little mean, about the things that we see in the world. And that actually helps us to kind of figure out what we think. It doesn't mean that everything we say is our final opinion on something or our final thought on something. It just means that we're working through thoughts, and sometimes you have to say some things that aren't socially acceptable in order to get to the place in your mind where you have accepted something.
Right.
So, especially when you're challenging social norms, the hardest thing about that is going to be to recognize in yourself when that conflict happens, whenever something isn't up to the social norms that you're expected to see, and you get a feeling or an emotion or a reaction. To push that down and hide it all is, every psychologist would tell you, don't do that. Or psychiatrist. Psychiatrist, maybe both. Would tell you, don't do that. Don't take all of those feelings, even the ones that somebody can deem as hateful. Don't take it all and hide it inside. You should be able to work through it with your words. And sometimes it hurts people's feelings. But everyone needs to be able to build up a tolerance to words, because words are just words. Right?
Right.
When I say dirty Jew, it might hurt your feelings on the inside, but it didn't hit you or give you bruises or break your leg or your arms. I'll do all of those things later, but I'm just joking. Well, speaking of which, let's move on. Because I do like pranking you. And I like scaring you.
Oh, no.
Do I not?
Yes, you do.
I love to scare you.
And I don't like it.
I
don't like being scared.
I like to see the look of fear. I like to see the look of fear in your eyes. I think it's funny. And I
find it uncomfortable.
I
don't
know.
like it.
I know, and you kind of like it. Because I say so. You like it because I say so. And
what?
I like to put the fear of God in you. No, I just like to just randomly scream or make a face to just scare you, because it's fun. I like pranking you. It's fun. It's something that I like to do because it makes me happy. And I think deep down, even if you say no, 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 you do like it. So when I saw this, when I saw this story on Reddit on relationship advice, I immediately related to it. I thought it was great because this was a boyfriend pranking his girlfriend, and I think that's good. I think it's good for boyfriends to prank girlfriends. It's funny. It builds a bond between the two of you. So, boyfriend's prank injured me, and I can't go to work/school.
Been there.
I do this all the time.
No, I've never been injured by any of your pranks. I've never been injured.
I would never injure you. All of my pranks would never be to physically harm you or even touch you in any way.
My heart may feel like it's about to beat right out of my chest.
I'm going to give you a heart attack.
You've definitely shaved off some years from my life. Like that goes without saying. But never been injured. Although there was one time where I can't remember what it was that you did, but I was at my desk and my back was turned to you, and you did something that spooked me, and I jumped in my chair, and my chair almost knocked over.
And if it had fallen over, that would be funny.
No, it would not.
Okay, so this girl goes, a lot of my classes were online last year, but as of this semester, I was going in person. I've known my boyfriend, Evan, going back a few years, enough to be comfortable with cracking jokes in a humorous relationship. Our parents were friends too, but we started dating in college. A couple of weeks ago, we had our first time, but the reason I'm writing this is because of what happened on our second. A couple of days ago, he asked if I could do the splits after getting undressed because he knew that I used to dance. But when I told him that it's been a few years since I've actively stretched, he said it was fine. However, after I tried and was quite far from touching the ground, he jokingly came over and tried to encourage me while pushing down on my back leg, even after I told him to stop numerous times. So far, funny.
So far, I'm not sure that's a prank.
Look, he asked her to do the splits. She's trying, and he's trying to help. Get down there. Get down there. I mean, what's wrong with that so far? That's funny.
I don't understand the prank.
The prank is she's going, stop, and you're going, no.
I don't think that's what a prank is.
The prank is she's going, please stop, and you're going, no.
But a prank has an element of a joke in it, does it not?
That's the joke. I'm not stopping.
The joke is she's doing the splits and I pushed her down.
He didn't push her down. He's helping push down the split to make it fully to the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I'm pushing her legs down. It's funny.
The only reason he stopped was because I screamed after he had pushed too far, and I couldn't even stand up on my own without it burning. When I told him to call an ambulance, he said I was overreacting and that I should know how he likes to joke around because I do it too, but never past the point of someone telling me to stop or something that could hurt someone. He literally wanted me to lay on the ground until it passed so that we could continue, but as it kept hurting, he finally called an ambulance. He did it with an attitude and was pissed when they came too. Now, I'm on his side still so far. Not really. This is a little too far. But if we were joking around or, I was pranking you and then you were like, ow, it really hurts. Please call an ambulance. I'd be like, no, you don't need... You're overreacting, Lauren. And sometimes you are overreacting. Am I wrong?
I mean, sometimes, yes, I'm overreacting, but that's part of me playing along with the joke.
I would think you were playing along.
It does make it a bit funnier if I have a huge reaction to it.
You're like, Josh, I'm bleeding. I have a bone sticking out of my leg. I'm like, you're overreacting. Calm down.
Josh, my gut is sliced open and my intestines are hanging out.
You're just freaking out. Lay down until it passes. Josh, my top half is separated from my bottom half. Calm down until it'll heal itself. She says, I'm not here to ask whether I should break up with him or not. This was our second time and the first and last red flag in bed. He's pranked me in the past in some rather fun ways, but this was the first that he's ignored me saying stop. And I don't even consider it to be a prank at all, despite how he keeps referring to it as that. It's a funny prank. Look, what's the truth is that he was trying to help her. He did it too much. He wasn't listening to her. He realized afterwards, oh shit, I actually hurt her. And that's when he goes, it's just a prank.
Yeah, he didn't want to own up and take accountability for having hurt her.
Instead of going like, I did something wrong, I'm sorry. It's like, no, it was just a prank. It's not a big deal.
And to be fair to her, yeah, he probably should have stopped when you had said it was like physically hurting.
That's a big dude thing though, is like not being able to admit that you're wrong, so you turn it into, I was just joking.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. I was just playing.
And I would say it's a big female thing to be like, call an ambulance.
Yeah, that is. To complain? Yeah, I agree. That's a big woman thing though, to whine and complain.
I'm just kidding.
No, like when I was teaching elementary school, when there's a kid that does something wrong and hurts another kid or whatever, that's always their first thing is I was just joking. I was just playing. Like, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal because there's another kid bleeding out.
Yeah.
So she said, I couldn't even put my pants on before the ambulance came and was embarrassed the whole time under a blanket while he sat there pissed. Why was he sitting there pissed? That's funny. When I got to the hospital, they told me that I had torn muscle tissue and would require surgery to repair. And as a result, I'm going to have to miss work for an extended time to let it rest before eventual rehab. Well, I'm just to the boyfriend's point. He did say wait until it passes, right? And the doctors are saying that you will have to wait until it passes. You'll have to get some rest. Just throwing that out there. Was the boyfriend wrong when he said just wait until it passes? I don't think so. I think he was a little right. My question is this. My parents don't want to help me press charges because they're friends with Evan's parents. I hate it, but that's their choice. I still want to press because he's also started talking shit about me online and how I overreacted to his prank after friends found out about my injury. But my parents don't want me to and said I don't have a case anyway. I don't think that's true, but I want to ask, do I have grounds to sue him? And how should I manage the friends that he's trying to win over to his side when I can't go see them freely like he can? So he's literally going online being like, yeah, my bitch went to the hospital because I broke her leg, and she's just overreacting.
Oh, somebody call the ambulance.
Oh, this bitch.
Okay, so these are teens, clearly.
They've had their ages up here, 23 and 22.
Why are your parents involved in any of this?
Because their parents are friends with each other, and so they don't want her to press charges against him because that could mess with their friendship between the two parents.
Yeah, I could, but you're over the age of 18. If that's what you want to do, do it.
Look, I think they should stay together and work it out.
I think what she should do is she should press charges, have this man be brought up and tried in front of a courtroom, and then found guilty, and then wheeled to the jailhouse, and then she turns to him and says, "Oh, it was just a prank. It was just a prank, dude. It was just a prank. Super funny prank."
She does the prank. It's a prank within a prank. This is a Better Call Saul episode, basically.
It's a meta prank.
Oh man, he was the hit all along.
Enter the prankiverse.
He was the mark. That's funny. Enter the prankverse.
Yeah.
She goes into the prankverse, bro.
Look, he sounds dumb.
He sounds cool.
The guy sounds.
He sounds fucking rad.
He sounds really fun.
This guy sounds cool. I would like to make him Evan. If you're listening to Working Crass Podcast, you have an open invite to be on our show and to come because you're funny, dude. You're funny.
Fine, you can be on our show, but I still think you're dumb.
He's gonna come on our show and be like, Lauren, could you do the splits? And you actually can.
I can do
not
the
like
splits.
his pussy bitch.
Well,
not like my bitch ex-girlfriend who sued me. At least you could do the splits. No one can even hurt themselves doing the splits. This is all bullshit. Man, that's pretty wild.
it is.
But very
it is
funny.
Wild.
very, very
It
funny.
is wild.
I mean, look, I'm all for. I like pranks. Okay, a good prank is a good prank. Okay, if it ends in you getting sued, it makes it funnier. It's an even funnier prank.
If it ends up getting you a physical assault charge, that's how you know it's a really good prank.
Did you even post a picture of yourself on social media if you didn't make an article about it? Did you even prank anyone if you didn't get sued? Did you even prank anyone if there was no charges?
If abuse allegations weren't filed against you, did you prank somebody?
Did you prank? Did you even prank, bro? Oh, man. Well, that's pretty wild. Now, would you ever sue? What prank would I have to do for you to sue me?
You're asking a Jew, would I ever sue?
Well, you just have to read Dr. Seuss's Will a Jew Sue?
That's like asking a Christian, would you ever celebrate Christmas?
Of course a Jew will sue. Right after she takes a poo.
Okay, now, what was the remaining part of that? Would I ever sue?
What prank would I have to pull for you to sue me? What line would I have to cross for you to sue me? The obvious one is like physical harm, which I would never physically harm you. I mean, I would just punch you. I'm just joking. I've never ever hit.
You have not.
I couldn't hurt a fly. I'm just playing around. But what would my?
I mean, intentional physical assault seems like something I should be concerned about.
Absolutely.
And I would probably go and like distance myself from you and then start talking to people about should I
Now, what about like fake outs? Like fake out I'm pretending like I'm gonna hit you, but I never really do.
I mean, I might talk to a specialist.
I just have a baseball bat that I keep getting closer and closer.
Yeah, I probably would talk to like a specialist and be like, is this behavior something I should be concerned about? Is this a phase? Is he gonna grow out of it?
And I'd be like, no, it's just a prank. I'm just pretending to hit her with a baseball bat.
I'll say this. If any prank involves doo-doo coming on me in any way or any form, then I would sue you.
Ooh, yeah.
You sue if there's doo.
Yo, you sue if there's doo, especially if you're a Jew. Now, I think that's...
You pooed on the wrong Jew. Prepare to get sued.
Don't mind if I do. Now...
Yeah, I think that's something that I would not be happy with.
Yeah, of course. If poo-poo came on you, because you did say if poo-poo came on you.
Anywhere on me.
If poo-poo got on you mean?
Yeah.
Or if poo-poo came on you?
Both.
If a poop came to life and ejaculated on you, what would you do then? And first of all, if a poop comes to life and ejaculates on you, I'm not involved in that. I didn't do that. I'm not a witch. I'm not a wizard. I didn't teach a doo-doo how to jerk off.
I would go, it's a Christmas miracle.
The poo-poo doo-dooed on me. And then it came on me.
I don't know what I would do.
What would you do if the poo came on you? You Jew. All right. Thank you. Let's move on here. But before we do, I do want to say that if you're listening right now, thank you. The reason why we do this is for you to listen to it. So if you're currently listening right now, that is the absolute best way to support us. But there's one other way you can support us as well, and that is heading over to YouTube, finding Working Crass Podcast on YouTube. If you're watching it right now on YouTube, thank you. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, the notification bell. That's going to help us grow this channel. As of right now, I think we have 5 or 6 subscribers on YouTube. So my only way that you can support us currently is to subscribe to us on YouTube or follow or friend or whatever it is on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's subscribe to a channel. You can also follow us on Instagram at Working Crass Podcast, but the best way to support us, go subscribe to that YouTube channel right now. Share a video with a friend, share a video online, share our channel online. Let's get that count up to 6 subscribers. Okay, that would be great. If the next podcast we can have 6 subscribers on YouTube, then we're growing. Then we're doing good work. Then a poo-poo might come on you too. Now, the last thing here, which this was on Am I the Asshole? And this one is, am I the asshole for storming off from my sister's wedding after she dead-named my son? Now, I'm a 45-year-old single father of 3. I already think you're the asshole, baby. You're 45 years old, and you're storming off over dead naming. That's what teenagers do. That's a teenage activity. Am I wrong? You use the wrong name. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So it says Fear Mom, which I don't really... Is that the name of the...
No, that's a typo.
Oh. They're saying the child. Okay,
Although that you know what you
like I know people
that could be a non-binary name.
Exactly. Fear.
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 THEUR. I think that's probably a strong non-binary name.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know people with kids named Paris and Ocean, so I Fear isn't that crazy, isn't that out there. No, their mom died 10 years ago. I have 3 sons, 17-year-old Andrew, 15-year-old Connor, and 14-year-old Max. Connor was born female. He is trans. He came out as trans 5 years ago and has now socially transitioned, not yet physically.
Okay.
Socially transitioned, not yet physically. My sister, who's 38, just got married. Me and my sons were also invited. My family has known that Connor is trans for 2 years now. Some have adjusted well, some not so much. My sister is pretty indifferent about it. Oh, well, that's okay. It's okay to be indifferent about things. I'm indifferent about everything.
Yeah, that's how we live our life, in complete apathy.
That is, you're not allowed to be indifferent. You cannot be indifferent on certain things now.
Yeah.
That is meant as not an insult, but that's meant as like a negative character trait.
That's the social media norm that's been created.
Yeah.
Is on every issue, every news article that's ever written, everything that comes out, you have to have
the right opinion on it.
Right.
The correct one. You cannot be indifferent. It's funny because you can be, when it comes to religion, you can be agnostic. I mean, not to religious people. They see that as just atheism and as blasphemy, right? Mm-hmm. But, to woke people, if you're agnostic religiously, that's totally fine. But you cannot be politically agnostic. You cannot be
socio-politically agnostic, not allowed.
Not allowed at all.
Not allowed.
Well, except for if you're religious, then it is allowed. If you're traditionally religious, then you can,
But even then, I would say the hardcore atheist would be against it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, but they wouldn't consider that a religion, but it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The atheists do act like it is a new religion. That South Park where they have he goes into the future where atheists have kind of taken over what society is, and that's the main religion, and then atheism breaks off into a bunch of different sects, and they all argue with each other, and it's all just the exact same as it was before.
Yep.
That is reality.
Yeah.
Is no matter what, people are always going to latch on to beliefs and ideologies, regardless, and that's okay. People need moral systems, and so it's when you start to force your moral system on other people. And we can all have a common moral system, like don't kill, don't murder each other, don't be an asshole. But Unfortunately, we have too many scattered moral systems that the things that we all disagree on is all we focus on. We don't focus on what we agree on at all as human beings. Never focus on what you all agree on. Only focus on what you all disagree on. And that's why you can't be indifferent.
Yeah.
Her wedding was really super well organized to the last detail. She wanted all the men to wear a shirt and tie and then women's sundresses. I texted her a picture of our outfits the day before the wedding, and she said, "Where's Nia's dress?" I was a bit surprised and told her not to dead name my son. Wait. Did he not just dead name his son?
I mean, he did.
If it's absolutely not allowed, then can you say it when quoting someone? This is like the N-word. Dead naming.
Well, this literally,
no. Dead naming.
This literally is an N-word.
An N-word. It is one of the N. It is an N-word. Dead naming is the new N-word, is it not? You can't use it even if you're quoting someone else using it.
But can trans and non-binary people use it with each other as a term of endearment?
Their dead names?
Yeah. Can
absolutely.
they rap them?
Yeah. What's up, my Nia?
Well, then it's settled.
That's the new acceptable N-word. I was a bit surprised and told her not to dead name my son and that he'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of the men there, or we aren't coming. She said fine, and that was it. So
she agreed to your terms.
Yeah, she agreed.
But she just wasn't overly enthusiastic. Well,
Yep. That's, yeah.
And this is her wedding, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I think she can feel, she agreed. She can feel any way she wants to about it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to love it.
Yeah. I just want to point out, and maybe I shouldn't, but the whole don't dead name my son. He'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of the men there, or we aren't coming. Isn't there something that's very similar to the unibrow thing here? That is the things that you're self-conscious about, the thing that, is what you reflect onto other people, right? It's the thing that you are the most insecure about, and that's what you push onto other people. It's because you wouldn't be this angry if you were completely comfortable with it all.
Because if they don't also see it in the exact same way that you do, it makes you very self-conscious about your own beliefs. Because a little part of you isn't sure. And
if you didn't care what other people thought of you or your son or, any of your family or whatever, if you had a close enough family unit that you didn't have to care about what other people thought, then you wouldn't need to correct people in such an angry way. You wouldn't get so angry.
I also want to know, well, did Connor get angry?
Good question.
Did Connor storm out? Because if Connor didn't storm out and it's just you storming out
then,
and getting angry on their behalf, that sounds like a you problem.
Absolutely. At the reception, my sister got mad that Connor was wearing a tie, but didn't say much after that. When we sat down at our table, the card Nia. I went to my sister, and she said that she used their real name. I told her me and the boys are leaving, and she told me, "Don't you dare cause a scene at my wedding. Nia can be a guy any other day." I called her a bigot, and we left. My family says I ruined her wedding. Now, Lauren, I'm all for like, hey, that's they've transitioned, they've made this decision for themselves, and you need to be respectful of the people in your family, or else this is what can happen when you're not respectful of the people in your family. You can cause drama. But they do say 15-year-old Connor, who came out as trans 5 years ago. This person was trans at 10 years old.
Yeah. I mean, that is a little bit of a red flag.
Absolutely. And again, nobody has pointed out that Connor is the angry one here. It's the 45-year-old single father that's the most angry. So is it not potentially the father that's the most insecure about this and not Connor?
And I also just want to point out that it's a little sexist to say that a man can't wear a sundress.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's 100%.
Like if they are sure that they are a man and believe in their masculinity, then it doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't shake you.
Yeah, the fact that you put Connor in the suit and the tie actually backs up gender norms. It actually does it not?
It does. But I guess
this is what boys do. Boys wear suit and tie.
I guess if Connor suffers from like true gender dysphoria, and then putting him in the sundress is going to cause, a major psychological break, then it's probably best to avoid that if it's possible. Yeah. And it sounded like the sister did agree to those terms.
Yeah.
The problem is they wrote a card that addressed their pre-transition name, and they were kind of making a point about it. Yeah. And they were not kind.
It does seem like a little bit of this was like backhanded, like we're going to make the card with the old name. We're going to say that at my wedding, this person is not trans, which is
like this brother and sister need to work some stuff out between them. Leave Connor out of it.
Yes.
Work out. Right. Clearly they have some issues, but there's bad blood between them.
So to answer the question of am I the asshole, could we just say that everyone in this situation is the asshole?
I would say everybody except Connor.
Yeah, of course. Because
we didn't hear from Connor.
Yes, the father and his sister are the asshole.
I say both of them are assholes.
Because they are creating drama about this child, but it's really about drama between the two of them.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it gets. Well, this, I'll say, got a bunch of rewards and a bunch of people saying, you are not the asshole.
Well, I mean, that's Reddit, so that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Not only are you not the asshole, you're a brave hero.
You're a hero. We will sing songs about your courageous acts of valor.
You're Jesus Christ, the Lord himself.
MLK has risen again.
Oh, man. Wow. Well, interesting. Let me see how long we've gone here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here because we've gone about an hour. But we will be back next week with a very special episode. My sister will be our first guest ever on the podcast. And maybe we'll do some more guests moving forward, or maybe we'll just go back to being on the couch. We'll just see. But
maybe we'll do some pranks.
Maybe we'll do some pranks. And maybe we'll make some little sketch videos. Maybe we have some ideas brewing that we're working on.
Yeah. Maybe we grow out all our hair.
Maybe we grow out like a unibrow, and like maybe you can have some like armpit hair too.
Yeah, I think in your bush, just have it explode out of your pants.
It already is. It absolutely already is.
Oh, good. We're ahead of schedule. Those are the fun things you have to look forward to with the Working Crass podcast.
And there's a lot to look forward to with the Working Crass podcast. But if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, you might miss it. So please, go now, subscribe, like, share, whatever you can do to grow this thing so that we can keep doing this. What did you learn today, Lauren?
What did I learn? I learned that when you're at a wedding, you cannot be apathetic about anybody being named in any way.
Oh, absolutely. You can't be apathetic about any socio-political issue whatsoever.
At a wedding?
At a wedding?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely not.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
At the beginning of every wedding, I would like if we could replace I do. You know that part of the wedding where they say I do? Do you take this man? I do. Do you take this woman? I do. Could we replace that with what are your views on Israel? And what are your views on Israel? And then I now pronounce you man and woman.
I say we replace it with you agree with my views on Israel.
I do.
And and that answers that.
What do you think of I don't know, I can't think of any more. What do you think of the Will Smith slap? You think the Will Smith slap was good or bad? Anyway.
That's what I learned.
That's what you learned?
Yeah, weddings are not a place for apathy. They are a place for taking action into your own hands and standing up, making making your voice heard, starting a social movement. That's what weddings are for.
Weddings are about a cause.
Activism.
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 Yeah.
They're about activism.
Weddings are about fighting the good fight. I learned that we all take our insecurities and put them onto other people. That was really like what I learned in 2 of these stories for the most part, is that we all take the things that we are personally insecure about that we haven't quite evaluated in ourselves yet. And then that's what our critique of other people is.
Probably in all the stories, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just us, but the people we're reading the stories about too. All right, goodbye.
Bye.